floods disasters that continue to occur in Indonesia. From the past to the present, history records their tremendous impact. But what causes them? And how can we overcome them? Indonesia is one of the countries most vulnerable to flooding. Its geographical location, high rainfall, and rapid urbanization make this threat increasingly severe each year. From the colonial era to modern times, floods have destroyed thousands of homes, damaged infrastructure, and disrupted economic activities of society. Flooding is not only a natural problem, but also a result of human intervention. Land conversion, poor drainage systems, and global climate change have worsened the situation. But is it true that floods cannot be avoided? Let's explore its history up until 2025. Since the colonial era, floods have been a problem in Indonesia. In the 17th century, Batavia was often hit by floods due to canals built by the Dutch that couldn't contain the rainfall. During the colonial era, the Dutch built many canals to control the flow of water in Batavia. Unfortunately, these canals often became clogged due to sedimentation and trash, causing water to overflow into settlements. Historical records show that large floods have occurred since the 17th century, becoming a recurring threat. In addition to ineffective canals, deforestation around Batavia worsened flooding. Land that lost its natural vegetation couldn't absorb rainwater properly, causing water to flow rapidly into low-lying areas. As a result, every rainy season, Batavia became a city of water, making life difficult for its residents. After independence, flooding remained a major problem. Some of the major floods include After Indonesia gained independence, urban development accelerated, especially in Jakarta and other major cities. Unfortunately, uncontrolled urbanization worsened the risk of flooding. Changes in land use that sacrificed water absorption areas meant that rainwater had nowhere to go but into residential areas. Several major floods occurred during this period, such as the 1976 Jakarta flood, which paralyzed the capital for several days. In 1996, another flood struck, causing more widespread damage and forcing thousands to evacuate. During this era, awareness of the importance of water management was still low, so floods continued to recur every year. In the 21st century, the intensity of floods has increased. Some major incidents include Entering the 21st century, flooding in Indonesia became even worse. Jakarta experienced major floods in 2002 and 2007, forcing thousands of residents to evacuate. The main causes were poor urban drainage systems and high rainfall due to climate change. Not only Jakarta, but other areas such as Bandung also faced severe floods, especially in 2016. The floods submerged many residential areas, causing billions of rupiah in losses. The Jabodetabek flood in 2020 even recorded the highest rainfall in history, submerging hundreds of neighborhoods and paralyzing transportation. From 2021 to 2025, flood trends continue to rise due to climate change and rapid urbanization. From 2021 to 2025, floods continued to devastate various regions in Indonesia. One of the worst occurred in South Kalimantan in early 2021, where more than 60,000 homes were submerged. Heavy rain and deforestation were the main causes of this disaster. In Jakarta, floods remained a terrifying problem. Early in 2025, extreme rainfall caused large floods in several key areas, including business districts and densely populated neighborhoods. This shows that despite various efforts, floods remain a real threat to urban communities. What can we do to reduce flood risks? One of the main solutions to tackle flooding is improving drainage infrastructure and building reservoirs or polders that can accommodate excess water. Several cities in Indonesia have started implementing these systems, but much still needs to be improved for greater effectiveness. In addition, urban greening and forest restoration are also crucial steps in preventing floods. By preserving natural ecosystems, the soil can absorb water better, reducing the risk of flash floods. The government and communities must collaborate to maintain environmental balance and prevent larger disasters. Public awareness is also an important factor. By not littering and understanding the importance of water catchment areas, flood risks can be reduced. If everyone participates in disaster mitigation, we can create a safer future from the threat of floods. Flooding is not just the government's responsibility, it's everyone's. With awareness and concrete action, we can prevent larger impacts in the future. Flooding in Indonesia is not a new issue, but its impact is getting worse every year. With factors like climate change and urbanization, we must begin to take action to prevent greater impacts in the future. Let's work together to protect the environment and find sustainable solutions. If you care, share this video so more people become aware of the importance of flood mitigation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss other interesting stories. See you in the next video.